Jawan Roberts is a tough mother. What a game, what a night. LJ Cryer leads you to a win in Orlando, a share of the Big 12 title. Thoughts?
Wasn't pretty. I think
Doesn't
it's
have to be.
yeah, but I think that just the concept of people saying that certain games are trap games. Well, they're only a trap game if the team can beat you. Like nobody. If we were playing, I don't want to disrespect anyone, but if we were playing TSU tonight, nobody would be saying that's a trap game. Obviously UCF, they're 6-10. They've lost 6 of their 10 games by single digits, and 3 of those games by 2 possessions or less. So they're very much a worthy team. Um, and you just got to tip your hat. They played hard, and they made it difficult for us. We had a weird offensive flow. It felt like we were just swimming up against the current with our palms up, with our hands open. Like it was just so hard to get a groove, so hard to get a flow.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When
Actually,
was the
no.
last time this team got trapped? When was the last time that you fell into that trap game scenario? Because I don't remember it.
I think maybe at the time Iowa State felt like a trap, but it's not. It wasn't.
No, I think Iowa State was the best thing that happened to this program. Losing that game on the road, getting your ass whooped in the first 6 minutes. I think that enabled you to go. You're 6-3 on the road. You went 0-2 and then 6-1 to end the year. Bradley. That's not Bradley. There he is. Okay, he doesn't have volume. Well, that's fine. There really wasn't probably much to.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
That's not even on us. That's on him. Starns.
Yes.
Okay, another good observation.
I thought you were gonna say like give me your stats or whatever, but
Hey,
damn,
Starns.
son, lock in, son.
there you go.
Stats by Starns.
Yes. 20 second chance points, 22 points off of turnovers, and then you were 6 of 3 from 3 and 1.35 points per possession in the second half. I think that was those rebounds and turnovers especially were the difference of the game.
Brad, are you with us?
That one.
No, he's not. Okay. Some quick thoughts. Jawan has no business catching the ball right now. He is grabbing at his wrist. It's in pain, and he told me it freaking hurts.
It's not like he uses it.
Yeah.
He started, but now it's gone. He's never going back to it again.
Gone to shit.
I was so impressed with how he played, especially the way they were beating the hell out of him.
Yeah.
He probably deserved about a half dozen more calls than he got, but he fought through it. And yeah, you got your starting stats. You're fine. Relax.
I think Jawan, his steady growth each year has just been a step. And just to see, in a sense, he's kind of like the Jamal for our bigs. When he has the ball, I feel like I'm at ease because I know he's going to get us a good shot. I know he's going to make the right play. He's going to get the ball to an open guy. And he has great decision-making, great discernment. And he has truly emerged as a go-to guy. Like, you can play through Big Juan on that block, and he's going to get you something. And he can finish, although he's undersized, he's crafty. He can finish over guys who are taller than he is, longer than he is. How he's grown from day one to now, it's crazy. Like he looks so comfortable with the ball in his hands, and he always seems to make the right decision when he's put in that position.
Yeah. I think
he
is the poster child for fifth-year guys, right? I mean, if that were something that you could sell in college sports right now. Just stay, bide your time.
You're
He's
gonna
the
get
guy you point
compensated.
to.
Shit.
Yeah. But no one's going to do that anymore. But yeah, go ahead, Starns. I'm sorry.
I mean, you've spoken to me about this, and we've spoken to people in the program. They feel that Jamal is sort of the quarterback of the offense, and then the defense, it's Jawan.
Well, Jamal is the quarterback closer to midcourt. Jawan's the quarterback closer to the baseline.
Yeah.
I think is how it's been put to me.
Jamal is the point of attack.
He is that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can we just take a minute and talk about a Big 12 title? You've got half of it. Iowa State's in a bit of a game against BYU. If BYU shoots the ball at all, I think they're going to win this game.
It's tough against Iowa State, though.
It obviously is. And Iowa State may make the second half. They only get 5 shots.
BYU won at Kansas. I feel like that might be more difficult to do than to win at Iowa State.
I don't know if this Kansas team.
Statistically speaking, I mean, shit, consider what they did to us. Jesus.
Well, yeah, that was pretty ugly.
But I mean,
let's try this again.
But for us to even be in position to win a share after, you look up over the years, we've had great teams, good teams for a period of time now. And, whenever you see stuff posted on social media, it'll say, oh, BS conference, this, that, whatever. And it's just like, nobody ever says that about Gonzaga, ever. No. But they will say that about us. Why, I don't know. But it's like, you go to post now, and it's just, nobody says that anymore. So it's just like, we've always been a good team. We've always been a good team. We've always had great culture. We've always had great coaching. And it's just for us to be able to do that in the best basketball conference our first year in, hats off to our program.
Brad?
Can you hear me now?
Hot damn.
Hey, it worked.
Woo!
I'll get into shenanigans later on. Wow. That was it's kind of the running theme here in the last month. It's just gritty. Guys doing what it takes to win. It hadn't been pretty. It's always close. It's always tough. Toughest team wins.
Yeah.
We just happen to be the toughest team on most nights. LJ, huge shots. Jawan playing one-handed, phenomenal. But the game changer was JVA going out and getting his magic foot and coming back and completely changing the game.
His foot was backwards.
Yeah.
That looked brutal.
If you watch that,
it's like, how did that happen? Like, how did your foot end up backwards, closing out?
Well, it turns out that backwards is the right way.
I guess so.
Yeah.
When he went out, I think everybody's like, shit, here we go. It's over. The whole thing's over.
Turns out it was.
Because when he went, I mean, when you get hurt like that, they were talking about it on the broadcast, and it's true. It hurts in the moment, but when you go get taped up and you get really taped up, like extra special taped up, and you come back, you really can't feel it. Now you probably see him in a boot tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as soon as he takes that
shoe off,
as soon as that tape is finally
cut
off,
slides on, and that adrenaline goes on. Yeah, for sure.
But
Galen's talked about the rapping ability of John Houston.
No, hey, that JH tape job. I remember I went back. I was like, Jay, like I wasn't even doing shit. I think I was just shooting. I was like, James, can you just tape my ankles again, just so I could just feel what it like. It's like such an elegant. I can't explain it, but it's
the weirdest kink I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's just the security.
John taped my ankles.
No, listen. It's the security and the comfort, and it's just usually a lot of times you got to sacrifice one. Your shit be loose, so it's just like it's comfortable, but it's like this pointless having a tape on. And it's just another time it might be super tight, but it's not comfortable. Your foot end up catching cramps, and JH is He's figured out the secret recipe, man.
And see, that's the thing. I don't know if anybody, those who haven't had the experience too often, there's a massive difference between tape jobs. And so when those guys they can make it airtight and you can't hardly move your foot, but it's finally comfortable. Sometimes, next thing you know, you look down, your toes are purple.
Fucking purple. Can't breathe.
And you get that
foot numb.
You get that big cramp in the side down at the bottom where you can't move it. It hurts for like 4 days.
Talon, you know what? I appreciate this about this dialogue. Ryan can't say shit because he can't relate.
I can't. My kink also is John Houston taping me up. Starns and I are going to go in and get taped tomorrow at practice because he has nothing to do now. It's a week off for John. I think that's the issue with Jawan's wrist, with that tape that he's got on his arm. It's taped so tight on his wrist that it's just uncomfortable for him.
I don't know if that's the case.
I mean, his hand hurts because of the stitches. But he's grabbing it here, not here. And
I think that the weird thing about that type of injury is you can take much more dangerous injuries to your ankles because it's a different kind of pain. But when you have that little bitty nagging, like sharp pain in your hand, it's weird how it reacts because every time you move your hand, no matter what you're doing,
somebody can hit it. And
it just hurts. It stings just moving your hand. But it's kind of like a difference between hitting your knee or something and then getting a paper cut. Paper cut to me always hurt worse. Just those little bitty sharp pains.
Yeah.
In practice the other day when we were there, Monday, they were going intentionally throwing the ball to his right hand, making him do everything uncomfortable with it so that what he faced in this game was not a big deal. And I frankly think they called too many fouls against him. I think he wasn't ever fouled in that game. Poor guy.
Jawan?
I don't think one has great hands. So it's like he's going to figure out a way to catch a ball, but it's more so when he has the ball and people are trying to reach and slap and hit down, that's more so what will cause the pain rather because he'll find a way to work around it. Like he caught the ball one hand, had it, palmed it, dribbled, touched it a little bit with that right hand just to get into that left hook. Like he gonna figure it out.
I did notice that as the game went on, especially when it got deep in the second half, he kind of forgot about that pain. It disappears because the adrenaline just completely takes over. Because next thing you know, I see him out there reaching for block shots with the right hand. Now, as soon as play stops,
you forget that it's hurt in the midst of it's just a reaction, like an instinct.
Another amazing game from him on the road, by the way.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out is I feel like Big J, he kind of struggled with Big Francis. I feel like he kind of struggled guarding their big one-on-one just because naturally he's a thinner framed guy that we've added muscle to. And I want to say that when they put Big Said in, the one possession it was like the few possessions that it was one possession in particular that he guarded that same guy and he tried to back him down and it was just, you couldn't. That's a thick kid, you know, and I just wonder just at least against Kansas, if like let's say we get in foul trouble and obviously Hunter Dickinson's that's a massive dude, and Stead is also a big dude. I wonder how if they'll if that's a possibility because obviously that's a bigger game, but I'm just curious to know if that'll happen.
Yeah, BYU is up 29-20, by the way.
It's a big difference in weight distribution.
Yeah, exactly. He's much more compact. Yeah.
Well, and he's got bigger legs, the big butt, and JVA is he's gotten a lot bigger, but it's more. He's still
filling out his frame,
slim down on the bottom. So it takes a lot more effort. I mean, you get a guy like Big
Said ain't on no weight gain plan.
He's doing.
He ain't on no weight gain.
He's taking one of those knees and putting it right on the tailbone and saying, you're going to have to move one way or the other. Whichever way you're going to move, I'm going to spin you.
Yeah.
Because you ain't moving me.
That's a big kid, man.
I think when Javier came back in, I think that's when the game, I mean, UVH was already starting to make their comeback, but that was when I think the game flipped, was when he came back after getting his ankle redone.
Yeah, he came in.
Had the dunk and then the rebound and Jamal hit a long
block,
two, and then that was block, and then that was kind of off to the races from there.
He knocked the ball out of bounds a minute later or so, where Malik knocked it out. He knocked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal gets a steal. LJ goes in, which I think was the point in the game where you broke them. Even though they got within 5, they kept chipping. They were going in for a layup, and it was going to be a 1-point game. We lost Starns. That's too bad. So Starns and I were talking this week. We had a chance to kind of talk for an extended period with Sed. And he's going to be a big bully in this league. But his accent and his polite manner, it's such a weird dichotomy of big hulking, I have to look up like this. And he's just so nice sounding. And anyways, Starnes.
It was a shock to me. I never really heard him speak. And
bro, it's not what you would expect.
And he was talking to the media. He was smiley, just really, really nice, complimentary of his teammates. Really, just a really sweet dude.
Outside of those lines, that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And didn't he only have like 2 years of experience of basketball, 2 or 3 before he got here?
Yeah, maybe not even 2.
Yeah,
but
I mean, of ever playing the sport.
Yeah,
the thing, you won't see it in the book, and it was one thing that I was concerned about him in his development early is, when he's coming in mop up time, he just kind of he didn't seem to move well. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
Yeah,
his lateral movement looks great. He's going to be a handful.
I also think that he's going to give our front line just some versatility because you're able to play against multiple styles of basketball because let's say with J-Mac, he's 6'11", kind of real thin, he's lob threat or whatever. But let's say when we play a guy who might be a bruiser, okay, that might be a matchup for Sid. So it gives you that versatility on the front line that you can really defend and have success against multiple styles of play.
Okay, we're catching up on comments. Hey guys, hey
Gwen.
UCF got a little. They were all kinds of angry. Thought they had the.
It's almost like what do you expect from a little brother, man? What do you expect when you get put in your place? You don't like it. You're not the biggest fan of getting put, but it's just what it is.
That's one of the beautiful things about our style of play is once we get a team on the ropes, we can really rattle them because we play with such intensity.
Yeah, I do think the calls weren't going their way
Starns,
terribly.
You got to shut up. No.
But they looked rattled.
At the time, man, I don't feel as cool after this.
Well, you don't have a light on. You had the light on the other day. Go ahead, Starns. I'm sorry. I'm so mean to you.
I did think they were getting some tough calls, but I just don't think the reffing was great either way in that second half. But you could tell they were towards the end. They were rattled.
Yeah.
And I thought you could really show you could really see it when Emmanuel got sort of decked by was it Diallo or was it Silla? I think it was Silla.
No, it was the other one. Yeah.
Silla.
And they could just tell that they were struggling with the physicality.
It's frustrating too.
Yeah.
But in regards to that comment though, with BJ Taylor needing improve, I actually thought he did a good job. Personally, like it was some stuff that he did a good job of explaining, but I thought for the most part, I was like, damn, he sounds like this is good commentary from him, at least in my opinion.
I thought he was very balanced. I think it felt
Yeah,
like he was
it
going,
was
really-
it was real neutral. Like real.
It-
He
it
tried
felt-
to
it
be
felt like-
balanced. Yeah.
it felt like he was really going out of his way to make sure he called it even.
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
was
very good.
very
job to me.
very complimentary. I mean,
Mhm.
is that did he come in after you?
No, we
No,
played
he
against
was-
him. I played against him all 4 years.
He
Okay.
was part of the team that won it for Kita. They were the first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Galen allowed that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Concussed Galen.
Sure did.
Uh,
Bro.
Taylor, his best.
It's
moment.
actually a very interesting story about that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I had fell like on his knee, and I went to sit on the bench. I just felt like out of it. I couldn't really remember anything, and I remember John Houston had asked me. He's like, Galen, what day of the week is it? I just took a guess, and I think I said Thursday. And he was
Saturday.
like, oh yeah, whatever. And I was just like, damn, for real? I was like, damn, I just guessed.
Nailed it.
And exactly. I was like, I had no business playing. I should have played the rest of the game for sure. Like, shut up, Ryan.
He gets to. We have different people in tonight.
Yeah.
We got
Got a lot of
nice
different
crowd
people.
tonight.
Massive
I thought he did a good
crowd
job, though.
tonight.
Yeah.
So you're Big 12 champions. They said it couldn't be done, that you weren't going to even compete in this league, and you really haven't competed in very many sports in the conference yet.
That's why we
Volleyball?
don't listen to they.
We don't listen to they. But you know when it all started, Brad? Right here. When you brought this guy in, who looked like he was 8 years old, by the way.
Wow.
Galen Robinson signs with U of H, still using the beveled logo. I don't know where they came up with a photo of Hoffines with people in it, although you're down 18. You're down 18 to East Carolina in this photo. That's how bad things were. But Galen comes in and starts this rise, this step by step, and gets you into this conference and into at least a share of the conference championship. BYU's up 7 right now.
No, I don't think Iowa State's going to crumble.
I don't either.
They're too good a
But-
team. I mean, BYU.
If BYU hits shots, though,
unconscious, they're going to have to
They
go
do.
unconscious from 3.
they've done it several times this year.
I just think Iowa State's much like us, and they're just going to hammer away and hammer away and hammer away.
That's
They're
possible.
they're too good a team. But back before when my mic wasn't working, you said the biggest game in your videos off.
I don't know what just happened.
You said the biggest thing was Iowa State. I could accept looking back. I think the big change was TCU, because that's a game we should have been much better in, and I think they knew that. Going into Iowa State's a damn good team in a tough environment. It was loud at TCU, but they're not near as talented as Iowa State. And that was the game where they realized, we need to play a lot better. We should be beating a team like that. You lose at Iowa State, different story, because, they are where they are for a reason, because they're damn good. But I think the TCU loss was the kick in the ass that this team really needed.
I just think that's just a testament to the league, man. Like, the number one team going into UCF, and that's a game we could potentially lose. So it's like, I thought that's just a testament to how big and how much of a major step in playing in this league, how hard it is to win games, because depending on the location, anybody can beat you. You can go to West Virginia, you can get your ass beat if you go to West Virginia and your mind isn't right. So I feel like that's just a testament to the league.
Watch the conference tournament come down to Oklahoma State and West Virginia.
I think it was really impressive, though, how UCF and Cincinnati, the other two American teams, stepped up a level in the Big 12. I mean, I think both their records are below 500, but
they're a better team than their record indicates.
Yes,
like,
and
both teams have
20-win teams in the American right now. I think
definitely at the top
clearly.
comfortably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like Cincinnati, that's another team. They've lost a handful of games by probably 5 or less, probably maybe 5, 6 games by 5 or less points.
Last time I counted, it was 7 conference games where they lost by 2
Yeah.
possessions.
Yeah, and it's just like if you add 7 to the winners column and take it 7 away from the losers, you might be one or two in this league.
Hell, just win 4 of them. Just win 4 of them. It's a different game.
It makes a world of difference. World of a difference, man. It's a very, very good league, top to bottom.
You know, Penny Hardaway said this last year before the season. It's electric. It's going to be a movie, and they've been a complete disaster since then. So maybe I would hold off on that one.
It's been a movie, but it's been a movie that's on Tubi. It's a movie, all right. It's a movie. We just ain't watching it, brother. We ain't gonna tune in.
Yeah.
Damn, Towns, you good, brother?
Man, my allergies.
I mean, shit.
Pound stopped drinking and got allergies.
Yeah.
And your allergies, I never saw it, maybe because you were always woo, but
True.
Your allergies have just been nuts for 10 years or so.
13.
13, that's right. This Saturday, by the way.
No, it's today.
No, the day that I'm talking about.
Oh,
yeah. 365 right now, watching live. Appreciate that. Y'all are awesome. This has been in several comments, and why not just put it in every one you see?
Yeah.
He was balanced, talked too much, though. Yes, I agree. Less is more, as I completely dominate this and won't shut up. Galen, on our website, our members have embraced you and embraced your brand.
Appreciate you guys, man. That's some good shit right there, man.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Gonna have plenty of that coming.
Maybe
Still waiting for Damian Dunn to show up and go off. Damian showed up in a big way on that tee he got, which I don't even understand, but I don't even feel like he was in the game long enough to be mad at somebody, but did not have a great game again. He did show up against OU. I thought he played pretty well.
Just when the standard is so high, man, and it's very tough to like.
Well, for him to come in, you have to take Emmanuel or LJ off the floor, right? And that's
exactly
uneven.
And it's just like for someone for let's say the person who made that comment, for that person to potentially be satisfied, it'll probably be a game he might have to have 20, 25 points, and that's just
8 rebounds.
The likelihood of that, the likelihood of that happening when the offense is going. We have a healthy portion of our offense flowing through L, Big One, and Maul. So it's just like it's highly unlikely. But I do want to recognize LJ Cryer for it just looks like he's in an offensive groove, and just watching him, I can tell like the game has slowed down for him. He's making reads, he's being decisive, and it just looks like he's just sure of what he's going to do. Yeah. And to be in that space as a basketball player, let alone heading into March, and also when your light is lime green, he doesn't just have the green light. Mm-hmm. That light is lime green. So when you're in that space and that groove as an offensive player, Pandora's box opens. And I just want to recognize him for putting the team on his back in the second half because he made some big timely shots and he manufactured good shots. He didn't force anything, and he helped us. He definitely propelled us for sure.
And you could tell over the last couple months how he's just been so much better off the dribble, scoring off the dribble as well. And then that probably helps with his shot, and his shot has just been falling recently.
Yeah.
It's been a huge boost.
Yeah.
I think Jamal is the conference player of the year, period, end of story.
I don't think that's even a question.
LJ might be the MVP of this team because he has added a dimension in the last month where, I mean, it's almost every game it's 20 plus.
Yeah, timely.
And
yeah,
he's the reason you're the conference champions. You expect Jamal to be this, you expect Jawan to be that. But LJ has been the guy that has taken his team to the next level.
and I think it was one possession in the second half, especially when LJ had a mismatch. I think Silla was on him, whatever one of their bigs, and he got off the ball, passed it back to Jamal, and Maul passed it back to him like, go, like attack. He made a boom behind the back, got in the paint, created the shot. And it's just start of the year, I don't know if he was that comfortable off the dribble to be able to do that, and let alone to have confidence to do that in that environment with the seconds that were on the line. So LJ is definitely deserves his flowers. I'm definitely happy for him because I know how much work he puts in, and I'm just glad that it's paying off for him.
Yeah. And I remember at the TCU game talking about
That's crazy
guys on this team that could create their own shots, off the dribble, and it was Jamal, and then it kind of stopped there.
Yeah.
And LJ was struggling there. Emmanuel hadn't really gotten it, and then both of those guys have improved off the dribble, but especially LJ, as we've been discussing. But
he
brought this
was
team offensively to another level.
Absolutely. And he was good in the non-conference, and then he had that 3-game run against Iowa State, TCU, and Texas Tech where he really was not good at all because the only thing he could get off was a 3-pointer. And he slowly improved. He got his confidence back and started hitting some shots, and then he was able to start getting it to the middle of the floor, get to at least inside the free throw line, and that opens up a lot for a guy that's a gunner from the outside, because then they actually have to worry about, hey, this guy, I got to be careful. I can't get too far out on him.
He's a career 43-point shooter. So, like, even if he's not making shots, the defense, they're not going to help. And I feel like a lot of his growth probably came from film with Coach Q, just because once you see how things look and it's put in your mind like, okay, this is a scenario where you could make this decision. Whenever you're put in the game situation where you recognize that same read, you're able to make that decision, So it's just tons of film and tons of reps that go into that growth.
Yep.
Is Quantas watching film with him? How is that? Like, I've just never heard much about watching film with him or his scouts, but obviously, I mean, he scouted several of the big games in the last few weeks, so something's going right.
I mean, with Q, it's more so like he'll show you something, and you'll be able to recognize it. It's not much of it's not a beat down. It's like I'm gonna show you this, and you're gonna be able to see, and then we're gonna go put the reps in to where whenever the situation presents itself, you're gonna be able to make the right decision. Like Q is definitely, he's not really a film guy. He's definitely more of an action guy. Whatever.
The University of Houston, the actual University of Houston Twitter account is posting Houston isn't going to even come close to winning the Big 12 tweets from random people. And I am 100% here for that because, damn, U of H, step up.
I wish I could see that.
That you could see the internet?
No, I mean, but I can't see it right now because I'm using.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I'll show you in just a second. How about that?
How about it, brother?
How about it, brother? I love to go back and necro that stuff, but to be honest, I would have felt the same if I was in the Big 12 and 100%. Had gone through the battles, and then you get this new team. I would have felt the exact same way.
Yeah,
there's no way. There's no way that there's no way that this team can survive. They don't have the type of recruits that we have.
But it's just like, let's say like a team like Gonzaga goes to the Pac-12. You don't think a winning culture and a winning program and guys who expect to win and guys who have winning habits, you don't think that's going to translate wherever you play?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's just the funny thing about like even in the tournament, like it might be like a 3 seed playing a 6 or a 12 or whatever, and it's a team from a one-bid league who's won 30 games in the year. they're going into this game expecting to win. Like they have built a program that expects to win. So it doesn't matter who we're playing against. We're gonna be the same team.
Well, I mean, we've seen that firsthand. We were just the little bitty guys from the AAC, and there's no way that we're going to beat the big, rough and tough Big Ten Illinois team.
But
we sure as hell wasn't going to bend that superstar Arizona team.
The coaches the coaches know when the team is a good ball club, and I'm sure the coaches knew how good we were.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. But it's just the people who are supporters, they might think, oh, because we don't know this team or we haven't heard of them, we never seen them, oh, they're not good. That's not a good mindset to have.
No.
Okay, so nobody agrees with me on the MVP of this team thing.
Brian, I have a question for you since you're a historian and you're old.
Damn, Starns.
How does whether or not they clinch the full share of the title is yet to be seen, but how does this winning the conference in your first year compare to the football team in 76 winning the Southwest Conference?
It's not a comparison, honestly. That meant so much just because you'd never been in that position. Right. If this school had never been in the Southwest Conference, this would obviously be the biggest thing. I think it's a massive, massive thing to win the regular season title. Like that conference tournaments, I just don't give a crap about.
That's just a hot weekend.
3 days.
Yeah.
And okay. But the Southwest Conference in 76, I mean, that was people still gather and talk about that almost 50 years later. So I wouldn't compare it. But you don't have to. You can have big here and big here. But what it definitely does is should stop people from referencing Phi Slamma Jamma. You should reference this program, what they're doing now, what you started and what they've continued. This is the best moment in U of H history. This is the best run. Yes, they had 3 Final Fours. One of them was getting hot at the right time. One was the PSJ year, and one was you got to a Final Four because Hakeem was in his 4th year. But what y'all have put together now, just no comparison. I think I posted it today that since the year 2020, U of H has been in the top 25, like 128 weeks straight, which is almost 40% of the entire times U of H has been in the top 25 in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mountaintop of what U of H has done in basketball. Okay, that's it. Did that answer your question, Starns?
Yes.
I don't even remember what it was.
Fantastic.
Okay, good.
That's crazy. Our coach today, he told us about like whenever Indianapolis, when the Colts beat the Bears in the Super Bowl, I think they had the worst defense in the league, and throughout the duration of the playoffs, they had the best defensive rating in the league. So it's just all about whenever a team gets hot, especially in March, and that's why the conference tournament it can be a fluke, but it's just with the right team, you never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this team doesn't need to get hot. This team needs to take
they need
4
to get
players. They need to take 4 players to Kansas City. And Ryan Elvin, you're going to run point. We're going to run every play for you. Have fun. Jamal, you're staying home in the hot tub. Jawan, you're staying at home in the hot tub.
I don't know. I'm not even going to put him in the hot tub. You got to go in one of those sleep pods. You can't leave that room.
I was about to ask you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Because there was a guy who messaged me trying to come up with a nickname, but it was too attached to Phi. He was trying to make it a fraternity nickname.
No.
And it's just you can't do that with this. You got to let that go, man. And I wanted to ask you what a good nickname for this. I wouldn't even say this team because it's who we are now. This is a program thing.
I just don't think you can.
You could just call it for the city. Why not?
Well,
Why
that's now
not?
trademarked, but yeah.
Ain't that some
Tommy
shit?
Bonk came up with that on a Sunday afternoon after watching U of H beat Pacific, I believe. And it just came to him in that moment. He was sitting in front of a typewriter. Do you know what a typewriter is? I'll tell you later. It came to him. Texas tallest fraternity. It's not something that he had been workshopping and trying to play around with. It just happened. And it's probably the greatest nickname ever in sports. And you went up against one of the best nicknames in sports, the Doctors of Dunk, in the semifinals that year. But you just can't, you got to let that happen in its own time.
Probably similar to how you came up, the originality that you came up with GoCougs.com. It's just so
I
original.
really did. I worked my ass off. Do you know how many focus groups we had?
Spent a lot of money on it.
The thing on that was, I can't believe that website was available. Like, how did that happen? And it just, I checked one day, and it was
Pioneer.
and it was like, oh, I'll buy that. It is good marketing. It does sell some things. By the way, go to Home Field and buy some shirts, and we get a little kick.
You know what I'm gonna do, Ryan?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna drop some Fly Slimmer Jammer gear.
You should.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
that
gonna
would
do.
go over very well with some
That's
of the
what I'm
staffers in
gonna
this
do.
program.
Nah, that's gonna be I'm gonna do that. Absolutely.
I think that's a good idea. What are you drinking there, buddy? What was that?
So just some Blanc, man. Just keeping it consistent.
It looked different.
Fun unknown fact: back in the day when they were cleaning out the dungeon at U of H and Hoffines, there were just tons of old stuff up there, and they were starting to get rid of it. Well, it just so happened that they had, if all the old folks who watched those teams in the 80s, you remember they had that huge banner, that massive banner that would go on the front ledge of Hoffines that said Phi Slamma Jamma, Houston's tallest fraternity. They were throwing that away. I got it.
Oh,
back at my mom's house. And I also got a locker. I got the old lockers that we used to have. They were throwing that out. I'm like, pack up the truck, guys.
Damn. Whoa.
No. See, now everybody's trying to give us their nicknames. Nope, not doing it. Not putting that stuff up there.
See, that the thing, you can't define this team because it like Galen said, it's a program thing. This is something we do every year. We don't have a defining characteristic other than we're going to go out there and just whoop your ass and make you bleed. I mean, that's just all there is to it. It's not a pretty offense. It's not just a great defense. It's just an overall intensity that you really can't define, and that's why people can't understand why U of H does as well as they do, because we don't do any one thing special. We do everything really, really well, and we do it consistently.
Kelvin says, hang on. Kelvin said that JoJo underwent surgery today.
Good.
They wanted him to hold off until they were there and they could be with him, but the doctor said nope, needs to happen today. And so they did it, and the team had a video quote unquote thing with him. I guess they did it like a Zoom or FaceTime or something. So that's something to know. Pretty crazy seeing an ESPN promo, and I just watched it, and a promo of Houston, Kansas, UNC, and Duke. One of those three is not like the others. That's correct, because Kansas has no chance to win a conference title. And so one of those, in fact, is unlike the others. That's a good call, Sean Piper.
Look at that.
I just want to
JoJo
take a moment to recognize, I mean, not only Big 12, but the way you did it, you started 1-2, and you went 13-1.
Don't make
The
yourself
rest
do
of the
that
way.
math on the fly, Starns. Get in trouble that way.
13-1 the rest of the way in the Big 12.
I'm glad you
That-
did
And
the
you went,
math.
yeah, you went undefeated except for a complete ass kicking at the hands of Kansas, who shot like 98%.
Everybody played the game of their lives that game.
Hey, good for them.
Ain't played
Hey,
that
the
way
way,
since.
the way they shot in the first half, I mean, I literally said, there's no way that they can do that in the second half. And they got better. It's like, I've never seen anything like this.
Oh,
I've
shit.
never seen anything like this. It's like, that's why we were on
That was
here,
crazy.
people were pissed off. And I'm like, what's there to be pissed about? We just got the shit kicked out of us. Shit happens.
Happens to everybody. Everybody. Can I ask or just talk to y'all real quick?
Mm-hmm.
I am so flippin' happy that I travel virtually everywhere. Today's my first or my last game that I won't be there. Watching this ESPN broadcast was awful. I don't know how y'all do it.
Well, we don't normally.
God bless you.
We've ascended the ranks that we don't normally get the home broadcast. Usually, we get Fran Fraschilla.
Right. You get 4 ESPN Plus games a year. Everybody does. Kansas got it. U of H got it.
Yeah.
And
Number
I
one
believe
ranked
that
team.
3 of them were on the road. So you only had 1 at home. But yeah, well, I mean, that's settled before the season, Galen. Everybody has to do it because it's an ESPN Plus, so they can sell that subscription.
I mean, the only thing that's sad about this season, I haven't got to hear Reed call a game in way too
Since
long.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Matt Peterson both. I don't think either have done a game this year, a men's game. Starns, are the women in the conference tournament tomorrow?
Yeah, they play Cincinnati tomorrow.
Okay. I thought that the tournaments were like aligned. I didn't realize they were one than the other. They kept saying it in a weird way.
Is there a logistics issue that keeps them from doing it at the same time?
Well, you can't play 2 games on one court?
No. Like at a different arena in that city. Or do they not have?
I don't know. I mean, there's bound to be somewhere. But
I don't know. I would just think it would be I think it would be a cool thing if you could run them everybody in the same city. It'd just be cool.
And women play Texas Tech. That's my mistake.
What did you say
said
something
Cincinnati.
different?
He said sissy.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What we got?
BYU up 11 to start the half.
Largest deficit in Hilton this year, we're telling them.
It'll be an epic collapse
then. I like how this is going.
Okay,
down.
I have to turn the TV audio off and sync up Jeremy Branham. This is something Learfield is doing. It's called sync something. I don't remember. But I'm curious how that works. Like if it works with the ESPN Plus. I'm sure y'all will tell me, but I have not tried it yet. Jeremy is going to sit down with us very soon and going to do a piece with us. I'm pretty happy about that. I don't understand how his career works. I don't understand how he has the bandwidth to do all the things he does. And I really want to find out.
I think people have that same kind of curiosity for you, Ryan.
I am completely focused on 2 things. Football and basketball at U of H. That's all I have the bandwidth to do. I don't even pretend to have a social life or to have like musical interests. I just do these 2 things and I read.
And golf.
I used to, yeah. Celebrating the locker room. I mean, I don't know where else he would celebrate it, but
it's Kelvin Sampson is also a human.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves his guys, man.
He's been to 2 Final Fours, but I think this is his best coaching job. And we're going to write about this tomorrow, but I'm reading different takes that TJ at Iowa State is the conference coach of the year, or this guy is the national coach of the year. Kelvin Sampson lost 2 first-rounders and another starter to Arkansas. He lost Reggie Chaney, lost him right before the season. He lost his sister during the tournament last year. He's pieced together a team, and they have gotten better every single month. And they just went, they're 14-3 in this league. They could go 15-3. And by the way, you get to cut nets down after the Kansas game.
No matter what.
Losing that game. But you're not losing that game. He might hang somebody from a net.
It's gonna be with what they have. It's gonna be an interesting week. It's gonna be a brutal week of practice. It might be a short duration, but it is going to be like our guys know what's at stake. They've been there before. Like they know what's on the line.
Ryan, you got to put up the video of Kelvin dancing.
Wait, hold on, wait.
From today?
Yeah, men's basketball tweet.
Thought you about
I haven't. I'm working here. I didn't know.
I had to say, I'm not trying to see that man shirtless.
That was my favorite of all time when he comes in and rips off his shirt.
If you had to rate Kelvin as a dancer,
I would put him
0
around me.
I mean, it's better than my overbite.
Yeah. This one was not the worst I've seen.
No, it's awesome. He was rocking the Peanuts dance.
I don't know.
I wish I knew what that was.
Not doing it. Nope. Not falling for that.
No. It's not. It's completely clean. It's how the Peanuts dance. Peanut.
I thought the clip of him dancing. I think when they went to the Sweet 16, or maybe it was the Elite 8 in 2022. I thought was maybe his best dancing that he's shown at U of H that we've seen publicly. He may be able to break dance and we don't know it, but
not with the hips.
I'm going to be honest. It's the Peanuts dance. Town's got it right.
He's waiting.
I doubted you.
He's waiting for a natty before he starts
that
popping and locking stuff.
Man, that would be nice, man. Damn.
I think for this to really be that special year, you got to go undefeated at home, beat Kansas, win this thing outright. You lock up a 1 seed. I think you're probably the number 2 team as of now. I think UConn's schedule is trash in their league. But worst case, you're the 3rd team, and you're going to get the South. You're going to get Memphis.
I have a team in that Big East that hasn't won a game in Lord knows how long.
Are you talking to Paul?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
you're only as good as your weakest link.
Really? 12, 16 minutes left.
DePaul is
I just got that.
DePaul is one of those. DePaul is one of those that, before Kelvin got here, I was like,
who?
Before Kelvin got here.
Okay.
It was one of us, hey, we used to be somebody. Look at us now, down here at the bottom. We started at the top, now we're here.
If we're going to talk DePaul basketball, and I'm ready, I think playing there. What is the arena called in Chicago now? Is it still the United Center, or is it another name?
I don't know.
Okay.
United Center.
What's that, Galen?
You said the NBA arena?
Yeah, the NBA arena.
I think it's the United Center, yeah.
Okay. They play their home games there. That is a complete disaster of an atmosphere, a horrible place to play. You can't build something there. You can go play big games. It's like MSG. You can't play every game at MSG.
Mm-hmm.
Like when U of H played at Toyota Center, I hated it. It was not right. U of H belongs in the Toyota Center Pesman did the interview with the No Conference for Old Men guys, and he said Fertitta Center is perfect. And you know what? I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but he is exactly right. That place is perfect for this program. It's the perfect size, and they built it, and the acoustics are amazing. I've been virtually everywhere in this league, save Cincinnati and Orlando, and I've not heard anywhere as loud. Bigger places, more people for sure, but yeah.
Even Kansas?
Well, that night was pretty special. That was, if they didn't shoot 98%, I bet it would have been that loud. I bet if they missed a shot once, it probably wouldn't have been that loud. But you're right. That was a pretty awesome. I mean, BYU was great. They're just too nice. Iowa State was great. They're just too nice. U of H doesn't have that problem.
Bradley, thank you for the compliment. Same name, gang. But
really, is that what we're going to do now?
I'll get him. I'll get him later. Don't worry. I'll make him red, and he'll kick me off again.
I have gotten some feedback on that. I was called angry. It's okay if you don't get it. It's okay if you don't understand. It's okay.
Success.
We've been doing this for the two of us for 20 plus years. And
it's normal conversation.
I mean, one day I'm going to tell the story of when Brad and I met in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and how that first night was the angriest I've ever been in my entire life. Because this let's tell you now. Brad got us kicked out of a bar in Ann Arbor, Michigan on a Friday night before the Michigan football game. He was making lewd gestures to a lesbian waitress. Turns out she didn't like that. He says, "Oh, I had water on my pants." He didn't have water on his pants. He was making like, "Oh," and so we walk across. We got kicked out. There were 20 of us, 25 maybe. We got kicked out, and we were parked across the street in a parking garage. And Brad, who I'd never met until this day, and he started drinking at 9 that morning. He was like, hey, I got to pee. It was like, we were just in a restaurant. I mean, the bar, Ann Arbor Brewing Company, or Arbor Brewing Company, ABC. And he's like, I got to pee. And so he goes and pees on the tire of a car on the first floor.
I thought it was yours.
We walk up. No, we were on the third floor. It was a 3-floor garage. We're on the third floor. We walk up to the second floor. Hey, I got to pee. We had to stop again. He peed on the second floor. We got to the third floor. He didn't even ask. He just started peeing. And it turns out I may have booked the hotel in the wrong place, and it's like 45 minutes away. And so we had to drive all this way. And this motherfucker in this car bothered the hell out of me. Hated him. I really thought, I hate this fucking guy. And here we are.
That, ladies and gentlemen, why I no longer drink.
No, that's not why.
One of the many reasons.
There's no anger. I see Starns every day. I talk to Brad every day. And
sorry about that.
When I grow up, I want to be like Galen. I want to be a pro basketball player that drinks wine all the time.
That
sounds like a good deal.
I save it for our days, man.
Okay.
Days,
hey, man, it's a European thing, dude. He's been cultured.
He is definitely cultured.
I remember our coach, my coach in France, there had to be an alcoholic beverage with every meal that he had. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This brother was drinking wine at 9 in the morning. And it's just like, dude, lay off it's okay. It ain't going nowhere. That's how they get down.
I figure he's probably firing up heaters on the bench.
Everybody in France smoked. They'd all leave, go outside for a smoke break at halftime, and they'd come back in and bring the smoke with them, and it'll look all foggy, and it's just like all of y'all smoked. Like, damn, I can't even breathe.
BYU is up 12, 46, or now it's 48-36, 13 minutes to go. BYU is 7 of 18 from 3. But I believe they were a good bit better in the first half. No, not really. Okay.
Shoot.
Galen's messing up the TV.
I messed up the goddamn TV, Towns. Damn.
You got Roku.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Hey.
it seemed like I was lagging, man. My bad, gentlemen. I'm right here.
I want to
We
shout
know.
out Emmanuel Sharp today. He didn't shoot much, and he didn't shoot particularly well. But I thought defensively, he made some huge plays. I mean, there was twice where he
Right in a row.
swiped the ball. Yeah, swiped the ball out of bounds, went off the guy, and then there were just some plays where his nickname's Crash, and he lived up to it. Where he was just on the floor, making things happen.
I feel like it's crazy how accurate Coach Samp's nicknames are. Like what did he call Armani? He used to call him like Panther or something like that, or it was something exotic cat. It's like for some reason it just fit. Called Nate Hinton called Coach Samp called him Clifford. That was spitting. Big red dog. Yeah, big
Did
red
he ever
dog
have
guy.
a nickname for you?
I was just G.
Just G.
Son.
I mean, some people do not need nicknames.
It was like, son, you don't know if you're on foot or horseback. Come on now, Ryan. God. Son, I'm trying
I'm
to
gonna be
get
honest
the
with
waters with. I fucking know that, son.
He's got to keep it short for you because it interrupt him yelling. He doesn't want to rattle off long.
Yeah,
long
facts.
nickname.
You can say a long nickname. It's like now you got to inhale.
I thought you were gonna say his nickname for you was like motherfucker or something like that.
Starns. I don't think he's ever cursed on this show, and now look at him.
Really?
That's so.
Welcome,
disappointing.
Starns. Welcome.
Corruption has set in.
Earning badges.
I've had to have cursed.
I apologize, Mom.
I don't.
Sorry, Mom.
Hi, Lisa.
So Starns, Linda. Lisa is her
Linda, I'm
sister,
sorry.
actually.
I'm sorry.
Lisa is her sister.
Well,
So my mother and her
sorry, both of
sister
them.
are named Linda Charlene and Lisa Darlene, but we're not from Louisiana. Starns,
Yes.
did your roommate Ernest watch this game?
No.
Did he watch the OU game?
No.
Hey, you might be a bad.
Well, no
roommate.
wonder he has no idea about that LJ guy.
I know.
Okay, just checking.
Jesus. Starns.
Sharp as a senior is going to be scary. Sharp is scary now. Next year, when he has more
rope,
like a bigger role, more rope. There you go.
I'll be back.
This could be true. GDG. That's possible as well.
Had to.
Also,
who the hell is coming up? Who the hell is coming to watch ECU? Yo, that's crazy.
2013, 2012.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
Yeah.
Damn, that Iowa State's making their run. Down 6. How fast the tides change, man.
That's so funny. Now you're ahead of me.
Yeah. I just wanted to show how much I'm better than you, Ryan.
Well, it's just the television. I didn't do anything. BYU has a ton of turnovers. Otherwise, this could be they're at 10 right now.
Oh, that's not that bad against Iowa State.
Well, Iowa State's got 5. So not ideal.
Iowa State got that run going. It's over.
Yeah.
That's how I felt when we took the lead. It felt like they kind of kept us at arm's reach for majority of the game.
Time.
And once we finally were able to get that lead, I just knew that once that happened, it was gonna be over with.
Yeah, their point guard went out. I get point guard.
The foul trouble
went out.
Yeah.
Once he went out, it was turnover, miss, turnover.
Yeah.
That's when you could feel the game from them getting away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're a very good defensive team, and we had like our offense in the first half. It just kind of looked discombobulated. We couldn't really get just we had a steady diet of Big Juan down there, but it was just we just weren't clicking, and we had like obvious miscommunications on defense that they capitalized on, and it just seemed like that's not usually us making errors on that level of like simplicity in regards to their plays, but I guess that's what happens when you play a team like that on senior night, and you're the number one ranked team in the country.
Yeah, I think I tweeted it out, but U of H was 2 of 7 to start the game on layups. Seemed like
Yeah.
those big guys at UCF are just so long and athletic.
Man,
No
yeah,
problem.
they definitely are. They definitely have good positional size. And also, well, my bad, sorry, it's not what you done. My bad, bro. My bad.
But it also seemed like Javier, on both sides, and I think we mentioned earlier, he was struggling with that length as well. He had a couple times where he had the ball down low and just couldn't get around anybody or get to a spot.
What year is Diallo for them?
I think he was. They all came in as seniors, is how I recall.
Oh, well, good.
But who knows? I mean, there's like a 90% chance he would be somewhere else, anyways. He is a fifth year. He has been at San Jose State and Ohio State. They have another guy that's on his fourth team in 4 years. OU had a guy that was on his fifth team.
It's amazing.
It's
living out of a suitcase.
How does that happen?
He had been in every time zone in the country. He had played in like
enjoying his college experience, man. I ain't mad.
Yeah. No, not at all. You run through the girls in one town, you go to the next. It's like a rock star.
One thing I wanted to say though, when we played in the first meeting, they towards the end of the game where it started to get chippy, they ran that little zone press, 3/4 court zone press, and whenever tonight they ran that after every time they scored, and I was like, that is great coaching. Like I think I said like he was just trying to see what would work for the next meeting, and it's just they came out immediately from tip off in that same exact zone. So hey, Johnny Dawkins, that was a great call. And it just kind of disrupts your offensive flow, especially when you don't already have a good offensive flow against a defense that's that good. So it just kind of slows you down, runs time off the clock, and then before you know it, shot clock is 5 under. Now you got to jack up a shot.
And that happened a couple times in that first half. I don't remember it happening in the second half. Maybe a Jamal like deep three, but not as much. Did you think you were getting good looks in the first half, just not hitting? Because I don't think the looks were necessarily that bad.
Yeah, they weren't bad looks, and it was shots that we were used to making. But when you're playing, you got a point guard who can live in the paint and get to the rim at will, as well as other guys who finish well in the paint. When you're playing a good defensive team, those looks aren't going to be as clean. But Diallo, whatever his name is, he's 7 foot. I can only imagine he's probably 7'4", 7'5" with his arm span. You got just the thought of him contesting. No look is going to be a clean look. So that's going to change a lot of things.
Him and Scylla down low. Yeah, just a lot of range. Like when people come into the paint against us.
Yeah, but they have the height along with the. You know what I'm saying, with the arm span. Yeah. We have really the arm span, but that guy, Scylla, Diallo or Diarra, Scylla, and then CJ Walker, athletic, tall, positional size, that's down there in the paint waiting on you when you drop to the basket. So that's that's definitely gonna change some looks. So if we're going against a different team, it'll be easier to score at the rim.
Hats off to him. He got a poster tonight.
Oh yeah. I like him.
Oh. I was like,
I like him. I like the energy that he plays with. I think he's a bit of a front runner, but he came out tonight. You could tell like his mindset was on.
Why do you call him a front runner?
It's easy to cheer. It's easy to cheer and do all these antics and stuff, but like when you're winning, and it's just like once it became we were winning, you didn't see no more of that. Once it was like got to the point like in the second half, you didn't see none of that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you're a bit of a front runner, but it's like
I think
the game.
He got to a point in the first half on a slam that I thought that bordered on like a technical kind of, if not just a warning, a big warning. It just seemed a bit much. Jamal Shed wasn't interested in the score. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. Our destiny is in our hands. I mean, the guy never says the wrong thing.
He's been Kelvinized, man. He's been Kelvinized. That's what that is.
I mean, it happens early now.
But it's true.
Freshmen are talking like that. It is true, 100% true.
It's true.
But that's not how a normal college student would think. He's had to be brought into this way of thinking, I guess is a nice way to say it. Didn't get to watch the game, but great win.
Yeah. When you have great leadership and you realize quickly what's important, then it kind of rubs off on you. It's just like, bottom line, like after we played OU, the message was to be 2-0 throughout the regular season, win both games, and you're in control of your destiny. You don't want to risk losing and then have to, we hope they lose this one. So it's no, we're going to go out and handle our business regardless of what they do. So we're good, you know.
Well, that's the I think that's the beauty of what this program has become, going back to the beginning from when you stepped in, and why you're actually considered the godfather, is that
it's crazy.
You adopt this this mentality, and you buy into the culture, and all the teams do. And every class that comes in, they're not just getting the culture instilled during practice. It's 24/7. Because you're living that culture. I mean, that becomes your life. That's who you are now. You've been changed as a human being. And then every class that comes through, you get more and more guys experienced with this and fully bought in. And it's a 24/7 cycle, as opposed to, just a couple of hours a week that you're practicing.
Yeah. And it's just crazy how when you have a good program and you have, the right guys leading, how stuff is passed down. Like, I remember playing with Deke when he first got there. It was almost like I was talking to a brick wall. He was not interested in all of what I was trying to say. And just you fast forward today, I think last week or 2 weeks ago we played him, and he'll always say like, "Man, you showed me the way. You showed me this. You showed me that." And it's just like all I did was do my job, bro. I wanted you to succeed. And it's just Jamal says the same thing about Deke. So it's just crazy how much of that is just trickled down because. We all want each other to be the best version of ourselves.
Yep.
Towns, you sounded almost like an evangelist when you were saying what you did, and it reminded me of Jonas Nightingale. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, from exactly.
That's who you sounded like.
That's Steve Martin?
Yeah, it was a movie. I can't remember.
Is it Almost Heaven?
Leap of Faith was what it was called.
Leap of Faith.
And, yeah, that's who you sound like. We could get you that jacket. It cost me $10,000.
Well, just step right up over. Step over here to my tent, and I get you some of this this magic tonic. It'll bring you closer to the Lord.
Yeah, right. I don't know what that was about.
Y'all are funny, man.
Yeah.
Y'all are some funny guys.
Okay, let's talk spring football real quick.
This is when I mute my mic.
Yes.
No, this is good stuff, Galen.
I mean, I'd agree.
Willie Fritz is the football Kelvin.
Hold on now. Hold on, brother. There has to be some level of productivity and success.
Galen
success.
Galen sitting there saying his head, whoa. Check yourself, son. Check yourself.
Okay, let's talk about this.
That's not a title that there's no conversation. That's not a title that's earned easy. I will say, just his aura and just how his demeanor. It's I feel like it's very Kelvin-esque, but
looks real familiar.
You gotta put rubber to the road before we can give you that title, brother.
I'll just say this: he gets it.
I would agree,
and he has done this at a lot of stops, at a lot of levels. Junior college, Division II, low G5, Tulane. The guy's done it. He's got to do it at this level. And, Kelvin did it at other places. Obviously, Kelvin
did it at a higher level.
At big places. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure, 100%. But this guy is in that mold. We'll say that. He's in the Kelvin mold.
Mhm.
But everything we see, there's no wasted motion. There's no wasted effort. Everything is organized. Everything is teaching. It's not like it was with the last guy where everything was screaming or happy hour. It's actual work. Starns, what do you want to say about
I mean,
what
just
you've been seeing?
from being there the last 2 days, it was like a good time to just watch that team work and just to see how to watch Willie and him walk around and go around and coach guys and then see him coach the special teams, and you could just see, they told us that like everything they do is something that they're going to do in the game, and it's all the little things. And like one thing we've noticed is the ball security is such an emphasis right now for them. Every time someone gets a ball, they have to grab it, tuck it, run it, and then hand it with 2 hands to the referee. Like, it's those types of things that you just see, and then you hear, heard the refrain all day today, especially Cougs don't beat the Cougs.
Yeah.
You just kept hearing that and kept hearing that, and
That's
then you
about
talk to-
turnovers and penalties.
yeah, and then you talk to the players, and they're like, this staff is like, it's made things simpler, it's made things clear, and it's made things more disciplined. And the results have to happen, and we won't know for a while how this all ends up working. But
it
just
won't
right
work
now-
this year. I don't think. Towns thinks it
Yeah.
will.
I don't think just
it will.
a clear plan is always like easy to understand. So this is just the foundation. And I just think that in terms of his approach, like Coach Sam, he always says nothing's been taught until it's been learned, and nothing's been learned until it's been taught. So I can sit here and scream and curse you out to death, but if you don't know what you're supposed to do, I'm gonna be wasting my breath. So he's like, son, I got to teach you. And I just feel like that's just the old school way, like just doing things the right way, earning your promotion, like not skipping a step. I just feel like that's the old school way, and that's the best way to get results.
What I have seen is expectations are clearly laid out. They're already laid out before they got on the field for the first practice. Everybody knew the expectations. They're still being coached up on that. They're still getting reminders. One of the things, Starnes tweeted a photo of play through the whistle. And everybody on the field is required to keep playing, even if they're away from the ball. Opposite side of the field, they have to keep playing through that whistle. And they're reminded if they, they're used to, exactly right. They're used to doing it this way. And that is not how it's going right now. I was standing next to, they hit a big shot there and the crowd is into it, and that's over.
One thing I want to say, like when Coach Sampson recruited me, he had a clear vision, and it was so easy to buy into it. And then you fast forward to practice and how they're conducted. Here you go. Before you get to practice and how practice is conducted, it's clear, it's understandable. You understand what the mission is. And my coach today, he always says, I'm going to tie it all together. You have to be who you want to be before you're actually it. You're not going to be. You have to conduct yourself like an NBA player. Like Jamal, for example, right now, he probably carries himself and works as such as an NBA player, and he's going to end up being an NBA player. It's not just, you're not going to get the blessing and then you're going to have to adjust to it. You have to, work for it, and then you get the blessing. So I just feel like that's just the old school way, man, and that's the right way.
Yeah. Expectations.
Can we Photoshop a beard on me? Like, damn.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. How could he go into your house?
Everything else is clearly Photoshopped.
How could he go into your house and say to you, you know what, young man, really young man, very, very young man, 9-year-old, you're going to be the building block of this entire franchise. We're starting with you. 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
man.
it was definitely that, but obviously he has a background. Like my grandpa was very familiar of who Kelvin Sampson was and spoke very highly of him. So did my support system, my AAU coaches and whatnot. So it was easy for me to buy in because I got kind of the approval from people that I love and care about the most. And, you make something so clear, and obviously Coach Sampson, he's probably 40, 50 years older than me, whatever the case may be. You're making something understandable to a 17-year-old kid. So you're putting it to where I can see myself doing these things, and you have this plan. But your whole message to me is, yeah, we're going to do this, but you're going to have to earn it. And when you tell it to a kid like a kid in high school that thinks they're invincible, it's like, I'm going to earn it. Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And it's just, luckily, all I did was did my job. And by the grace of God, we were able to have success. And I was able to be a part of something special. Absolutely.
That's pretty stout. 5th and 6th
Shout out to Coach
years.
Kell, man. Shout out to Coach Kell. God damn.
Going to the airport recruiting. That's all they're thinking about. I was standing next to Kurt Hester, who's the new strength and conditioning coach. It does, but he does. It is amazing to see the things they're doing still in recruiting to beat these bushes. I mean, they're on the practice floor after games and calling and FaceTiming with players. It's crazy. Kurt Hester was standing next to me. He was talking to an assistant strength coach. And football players now have to run off the field, and they can't stop running until they are actually off the field. There's no jogging. There's no loafing. There's none of that bullshit. A player 20 yards from us had stopped running a yard before he got to the sideline. Hester was looking this way, saw it out of the side of his eye, and called the kid out. And I'm not going to tell you who it was. And that is a level of accountability this football program has not seen since Tom Herman. Mm-hmm. And, say what you want about Tom Herman. Things worked out.
Coach. Yeah.
And that's everything matters. Everything.
Exactly.
I mean, everything you do matters. You could think, stretching, I'm just going to stretch. No, you do it right and you do it complete.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, putting on your uniform the right way. I mean, everything you do, keeping the locker room clean, everything.
Yeah.
Showing up early to class instead of 1 minute after, all those little things carry over, and it carries over for year after year after year. And if you're willing to take shortcuts on the little bitty things, you're going to completely miss the big things.
Exactly. And the thing is like something like that kid, for example, he probably went home and was like, damn, coach, complaining, coach, bitching, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward probably a year from today, he'll probably realize the importance of something that might seem important, but to your opponent, it screams volumes. It's like it just screams discipline and it screams a standard. And it's just like that is just the that's a foundation you have to lay when you're trying to get a program to national prominence.
I mean, it's like you hear from military people, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your level of training.
Sheesh.
You watch a lot of YouTube documentaries.
That might be quote of the year, Towns. Yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall.
Because if you can't do the big things consistently every day, what makes you think that you're going to be able to do it when it gets real hot and the action's going? You're not just going to miraculously become smarter and do everything right. No, when the pressure's on, you're going to crumble to the level of your training.
Wow.
One of the things when Willie was hired,
Iowa State got the lead.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
It's Jover.
Shit.
When Willie was hired, I asked him, what are you going to do about special teams? And he said, I'm going to be intimately involved. And I thought, well, that's weird. Like, you're running a whole program. How are you going to be intimately involved? And then I asked other coaches about it. Oscar Giles worked with special teams before. I think Derek Sherman, the wide receivers coach. And so I was asking them, and he was like, oh, I'm going to work with this piece. I'm going to do kickoff return. I'm going to do this. And then I'll be damned if Willie Fritz was not right in the middle of every single special teams happening in these practices. At the beginning of every practice, they ran special teams. And then about 30 minutes in, they came back and did more special teams. And then about a half hour after that, they came back and did more. Special teams are the little things. Y'all know that I am a special teams nerd, and I think it's the most important thing.
We're basically a football season special teams podcast.
We really are. Punt. But everybody can do offense well, and everybody can do defense well. But it takes attention to detail and people that really care. I'm just seeing Jamal shed tweets right across the top of my screen here, so that's why I'm laughing. Jamal tweets IFYKYK.
If you know, you know. If you know, you
Well,
know.
And then what?
And it's a Batman symbol, and
Tags out there, crier.
yeah.
But I think
So-
another thing that I think is really helpful.
You're not going to talk about something other than special teams, right?
I'm talking
Okay,
about
good.
special teams.
No, you know.
Oh, okay, good.
Willie Fritz taking special teams is, he's walking around practice. He's talking to everybody already. But in special teams, you're getting players, a lot of players from offense and defense, and you're coaching them very intimately that entire time. And so that allows you to just have a better connection with the entire team in, frankly, a shorter amount of time rather than, having to go to the offense and then the defense at once. It just allows that relationship
It's
to be
really
better.
a time when offensive players and defensive players work together, and it's really the only time they do. And Iowa State's about to blow this open. But they're working together, and to see the head coach taking responsibility for that. And every player we talked to, I've talked to them one-on-one, in groups, everything. They're all like, they expect more, they want more, but they're laying it out. They're doing this the right way. Guys it's been 7 weeks, and you're seeing noticeable weight gains for guys that should gain weight, and then other guys that need to trim down and just have more quickness. You're seeing that, and it's 7 weeks. Jamal Morris told me in 7 weeks he's added 2 inches to his vertical.
Damn.
This is a 240-pound man. How does that happen? But it's something. I don't know if the results are going to be there this year, but I think the foundation is going to be laid.
You're
going to have a massive recruiting weekend this weekend.
Mm-hmm. You know what it might
Go
be,
ahead.
Ryan?
No,
we might be that trap game for other teams, where we have a decent team, and we might be a lot better than what our record indicates. But you're going to have a team that's disciplined and a team that's going to play hard every single night. So I feel like that probably might be who we are next year. Not speaking for the future beyond that, but for next year in particular, we might be that trap game. It's a team that has the personnel to beat you. It's just a matter of, it comes down to gameplay.
This is not applicable to basketball, but it is for football. This team has worn down late in games, and they are making a small but massive change in that they're going to practice outdoors. And you're only going to go indoors when the weather's bad. But the practices are in the morning, so you're not going to get all these guys cramping up and whatever. But if you struggle to finish games, well, why not go outside and build that endurance? If you struggle to finish games, why not tackle? I mean, they're hitting more in just helmets, no pads right now. They'll get the pads, I believe, right when they get back from spring break. But it's like the most common sense things they're changing. They're changing big things. But they're changing like, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Oh, yeah. I'm impressed. Everything I've seen, I've been shooting video. I've got a ton to get through still.
Content king, man.
Well, I mean, I want to just observe. They're allowing us to see things we've never been able to see before. And man, it's eye-opening. It's pretty cool. And, you know, he's a coach that says, I didn't invent anything. Like the ways we do things, the things we do, I didn't invent it. You're not stealing anything if you see our practice, because everybody knows. Everybody's doing the same thing. And it's like,
Well,
that's
the thing. There's nothing new. There's nothing new in coaching.
No original ideas under the sun.
No, and the thing is that from a leadership perspective, there are thousands of books you can read on leadership. There are thousands of seminars you can go to every freaking week that are going to teach you the exact same things. They might have different words, but the concepts are going to be the exact same, and it doesn't change. And then we decided in the past that we want to reinvent the wheel and be unique. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. And trust me, this is coming from someone who has tried every shortcut and failed possible. I know there's not, because I've looked for them all, and it just doesn't work. There's no way you can get by with it.
BYU up to 3.5 minutes to go.
But Iowa State just got sent to the
Hit me up on my Patreon for one-on-one training of how to be an asshole.
Hit me up if you want your kid to get
learn from the best.
Receive high-level basketball training. How about that?
Exactly.
We'll teach them a thing or two or 10. Absolutely.
Or 10.
Yes, Galen. I will definitely be the town crier for Galen. Everybody go do what he does. Follow this young man.
The town crier. No LJ. Gotcha.
Did you get a glimpse? So go ahead.
Galen, did you see Lamar got a win tonight? Shout out to Alvin Brooks and Mikael McLean.
Ah, yeah.
16 and 13 on the season.
Yeah.
That's quite a turnaround.
I mean, it's taken a couple of years, but good for them.
It's a couple of brutal years.
Yeah.
Yeah, you there?
Galen, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Galen?
I can't hear y'all. Damn.
Check.
Hold on,
well.
right back. Hold
on. Zion, yes. We have gotten to see him. It's a different throwing motion. We're going to see a lot of him because Donovan Smith can't throw. Lucas Coley's getting a lot of work. I think his decision-making needs to be faster than what I've seen. It just looks like he can't pull the trigger. I don't know if it's the reads or what they're doing on offense. But,
Galen's
I mean,
back.
it's 2 freaking days. Okay, well.
He's open, Coach.
Yeah, my guy
Uyale was getting a lot of reps, too.
Uyale. That's just such a weird thing to see him throw the ball.
Oh, your voice, his voice audio cut out.
Who?
Galen's mic shut down.
How do
Try
you know?
it again. Because I heard him when he came in, and see his mouth is moving. Can you hear us? Shake your head if you can hear us. Nod if
I don't
you
know
can
if that
hear
was a
us.
shake. Need time to build a real offensive line. That is 100% true. It is like makeshift right now. It's like, who is that? Let me see that roster. What does that roster say? Oh, I don't even know who that kid is. My expectations are so low. as to what's going to happen this year, but man, we're really behind on these comments. Willie looked like he was about to be a personal protector. Yeah, he was ready to go. I was talking to Jack Martin on the sidelines, and I asked him, like, I literally asked him, like, are they expecting more of you this year? Or, like, under Dana, the very little we saw, the kickers kind of just stood around. They didn't really do anything because they practice indoors. You can't punt in that building. And because it's only one field, the kickers didn't really have space to go do what they wanted to do. So they just
was he really that bad? Damn. I mean, I guess that was a fair question,
terrifying.
but it's just like, damn.
No, he was fine. Yeah, I mean, nothing made sense. But Jack said that, yeah, he's making us do more. And he said, and then he got yelled at, Jack, take your helmet off and get some water. And he didn't have his helmet on.
Yeah, you already
Take your helmet off. Take your helmet off. They didn't want them. They didn't want him stopping long enough to talk to us. Was the point? That was what they were trying to say. Is that there's no time for that. We have so much to do. There's no time to stand over there and talk to that asshole.
Great coaching.
How does Harrison Pilot look? He looks like a man. He looks like a big man.
Yeah.
And having seen his dad, which I'm tired of this shit with you people and your dads that I've seen both generations. Hopefully I'm not close to a third generation on anybody. I mean, his dad was a man, and I think he needs time. There's just a lot of talent there. There were some young kids. What was that kid's name? I can't remember. Teichman. Little bitty guy, but was making plays, was going over the middle, and it's 7-on-7. You can't really tell that much, but I've seen a lot.
Jonah Wilson looked good.
Jonah Wilson had a couple touchdowns in limited action. It's 64-63 from what I can see.
Yeah.
Iowa State up a point with 2.5 to go. That caught my attention from your article. It seemed Dana did not like practicing outside. So that program practiced in the evenings for the most part. They did some afternoon stuff too. It's about class schedules and how you set up all of that. Willie, from the moment he got here, was like, we're going to do this in the mornings. You just can't practice outdoors at 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. It's just not, I mean, you just can't do it. And so, I mean, you just can't even get away with it liability wise.
You can practice it anytime you want, but which way are you going to be the most productive? What are you going to get the most value?
That wasn't good. Iowa State still have a point. So Dana, they didn't practice in the mornings. Dana always told us that, we practice at night because that's when you play the games. Well, okay. People that are up drinking all night don't practice in the mornings. That's pretty easy to figure out. So.
And it's like the day wears on you, I guess. When you practice late, it's just the duration of the day just takes its toll.
That's a good point, that you've lived the whole day, and then they want you to go be at your physical peak, and at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock at night, and that's hard to do. Not my first impression, but my lasting impression of Dana was his very first press conference. It was in the Carl Lewis Auditorium. And he came in with his sunglasses on his polo, like just right here, like tucked in. And it dawned on me that he was coming in. This was the first time he'd been to the office that day. He came in and went straight to this. It was 11 o'clock in the morning of a game week. Like, how does that happen? And I think that happened quite a bit, especially in that first and second year. And I don't believe you need to work 90 hours a week as a coach. I just don't think that's necessary. But I think you got to come in before 11. Jonah Wilson looks different. Okay, that's enough football talk for tonight.
Back to Alvin.
We still do
and
basketball,
McCann.
right? Okay, yeah. Wow. Did we not have enough of that?
No.
Shout out to those guys, man.
Yeah.
Coach Brooks, Mikhail, man, he's a hell of a coach, and he's definitely going to be a great head coach whenever he gets the opportunity. Mikhail was my guy my junior and senior year, and he really helped me get a lot and helped me understand a lot, and he helped me understand how important it is to have a great mentor. And I a lot of the whatever I was able to do on the court and the perspective I was able to gain, a lot of that has to do with Mikhail McLean. He did a tremendous job working with me.
I was here for the Brooks years, and it was not pretty. It was pretty ugly. And I can understand a lot of people being bitter about that time. But to his credit, he's kept coming back and working here and just doing a job and doing a job. Mm-hmm. And he finally got another chance after redeeming himself and then giving an opportunity to one of our guys, part of the new generation. I just hope they keep succeeding. I hope they do better. Keep getting good.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, Coach Brooks.
Monso's head's gonna blow up.
Coach Brooks,
I have nothing against Alvin Brooks. He was very decent to me. I was a young kid. I didn't know a damn thing, but he was patient and he was kind, and he always answered questions. And I mean, he wasn't prepared for the job. That's all there was to it. They put him in a bad situation. I mean, he couldn't say no to that job when it was offered to him. Yeah. Just couldn't. I mean, we're not talking millions of dollars. I think it paid $150,000 when he got the job. But you can't say no. But he just wasn't ready, and they did not give him what he needed to succeed.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you did this on a dime kind of budget. I was told of something the other day that the program asked for something last year, and it was like a couple $100, and they said no. And it's like, that U of H mentality just sometimes sticks.
I mean, like, didn't we?
This was something that could affect winning.
Didn't we have to do a fundraiser for like a printer or?
I paid for part of that, a fax machine. I think it was. They couldn't get binding national letters of intent because they didn't have a freaking fax machine. So that's where this program was. That was Ray McCallum, I believe. So sometimes it's the big things, Galen. It turns out a fax machine was a big deal then.
Yeah. I guess if you'd like to get a letter of intent, other than Pony Express or maybe tie it to a pigeon.
Jeez Louise.
I'm hearing BYU is choking and Iowa State is choking, and there's 1:10 left, and it's coming down to it.
I think it's just hard on the road of a top.
It's hard to go do that at Iowa State, and that's your guy BJ Taylor said something today. This is what set me off originally. That it's Houston and Iowa State, and then I think the sleeper is BYU. And I was like, BYU's 11th in the country. It's hard to sleep on somebody at 11th in the country.
Well, I mean, they're 20 now. But
they're 20?
Yeah, they're 20.
Yeah. I saw my prop total sleeper now.
Yeah.
God,
top 25 team sleeper. Yeah.
I mean, the team you saw in Waco was a damn good team. Now that's going to be different, neutral site, but that's a good team.
It's amazing how BYU, Cincy, and UCF have really stepped up their game. Now the results for Cincy, and we talked about it earlier, but results for Cincy and UCF aren't what you see. But these are materially different teams than the way they played last year. They're playing dramatically better. They're much tougher. They've really risen to the occasion, which is it's. I didn't think they could because I didn't think they had the players to do it. But damn,
That's
Johnny
coaching,
Dawkins
man.
and Miller have done a pretty damn good job.
That's coaching.
Mark Pope too.
Yeah.
No,
I thought Bader would. I mean, I thought the BYU would probably be at the bottom just because they'd get pushed around the league. Just physicality wasn't there.
But they that's not their game though. They gonna stretch the floor out and make it close out, and so they found how they could be effective.
They're reviewing I think a missed layup that went out of bounds, I think, right now.
And I don't know why they spend so much time reviewing that. That was obvious. Like
Jamie Hollingsworth loves being at the monitor. He thinks that's the best television there is. He's just sitting at the monitor. Lipsy in his 5'5" wingspan is taking over. That kid's tough.
Super tough. Gotta get a shot by like 42. That's not a travel. Oh my God. My brother. Oh my God.
What is this accent that we've gone into here? What is happening? We're just gonna watch Galen watch the game. I think that's gonna keep the viewers.
I've been watching, and it's just like what, like that's stuff you can call every possession. Like, why is that what you want to call in a key moment of like a defining moment of a game, like an outcome changing call? Like, why would you? Big stop, man. Big stop. I need Iowa State to lose. I need that whole share. I need that whole share. Good red out. Good red out. The basketball guys, they don't lie. They might today. They might today. Oh, yeah, they lied. They lied. Oh, my goodness, they lied. Oh, shit. Oh. This is a good one, y'all. This is a good. Why am I? Can you remove me, Ryan? Can you take me off the screen?
It was no basket.
It should have been N1 though, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a terrible call.
Wow. Terrible. I think that was among the best things we've had this year is just watching you. I mean, it could be better. We could be on your elementary school photo.
Good one. Oh, 51%. Give us one. One time for the Cougs, my boy. Yes, sir. Knew you was game for real. All right, hey, man. Last 22 seconds. They probably going to call a timeout. Oh, man. It's about
if BYU can't score, it doesn't matter. And it feels like it's been an hour since they scored.
Something about that last
possession. Not the rain on your play.
Something about that last possession in March, man. It's just somehow, some way. It's very unpredictable. Gave us two. If you get fouled, you just got to get one. Play the miss. Oh, and he turned it over. Son, you're not tough. Can't win with guys like you on the road. Clearly.
I'm looking at the stats right now. BYU has 0 points in the last 4 minutes, 12 seconds. That's not the way to win a game on the road. Iowa State hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. And we're just going to keep this photo of you on the screen. I think that's, yeah.
Hey, the big giant dude with the little bitty head got a nice rebound.
The little bitty head. Oh, man. Shout out to GoCougs.com. Shout out to my boy Ryan. Shout out to my boy Starns, my boy Towns, and your boy himself, man. Great crew. Man,
We're gonna
that was
watch
a
the
bad
end of this.
turnover. That was a bad turnover. I mean, that was about to just be fouls, no? But it's about to be because they know that they're trying to foul, they won't call it as soon as they do it. Love how that works. Come on, facts. I do. Cougar tails. You ever watch Tom and Jerry?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Lipsy reminds me of like one of those muscular cats that when he walks, like his butt turns. Like I don't know why that's what he reminds me of.
What do you mean his butt
I know what you're
turns?
talking about.
It's like a bum bum bum. Like it's like a weird it's real weird, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about too, though.
Yes,
I do.
we do. Though
Oh, that was a great pass.
you have the ability to say very small things that communicate very big thoughts, and that's certainly one of them.
I appreciate that, Ryan. Great
Yeah.
praise. High praise. What time is it, y'all?
10.
Game
On the
time.
dot? Damn. Guess that ruined my plans. Come on, Keyshawn. Come on, Keyshawn. Give us one. Damn, not lying. The difference between winning and losing, man. So small. You need more comments, Ryan?
I'm sure there are. I'm looking at I'm trying to get the stats. Usually that's ahead. Iowa State is up 66-63, 1 second to play. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
1 second. Oh, you FaceTime. Oh, that was a terrible shot. Yeah, it's over. This one's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's been a great show. The highlight of our show just didn't happen. I would have loved to see Iowa State lose at home.
Well, the worst thing that could happen is we tie for the Big 12.
Yeah. Who do they have next? Kansas State at where?
At Kansas State.
Hopefully some magic can happen.
Yeah. All right. 67.
Oh yeah, it's over with. Come on, Jerome Tang. Yeah. It's over with.
But if we share a title, I would rather be at them than.
All right. We turned his mic off because I ain't gonna hear
Yeah. The hell you talking about, Tom? The hell you talking about?
All right, you're back.
Bad beats,
but that you can't talk you can't lose at home. You can't lose on Jawan and Jamal senior night. You can't lose on cut the nets down night. Nah, I don't see it happening. All right, well, let's go ahead and get our final thoughts out of the way. I'm going to share one with you real quick.
It looks like how I can hear you press a key and then it just pops up. Hit a little thick. Who's first, Ryan?
He muted himself.
I just had to mute myself so that you didn't hear that come up. Go ahead, Galen. What you got, buddy?
Just find a way to win, man. We have multiple offensive weapons. There's multiple ways we can attack any team, regardless of whatever style of basketball they play. And just keep being us, man. Depending on who we play, who we are, it never changes. So just keep being us, and obviously the results they speak for themselves.
TJ always looks like he's in a really bad mood. Do you think it's the circulation issues with the shirts?
So. Yeah, probably so. Damn, this isn't big enough.
Yeah. Brad, go ahead.
Another gritty win, and it is go ahead and get that trophy and put the name on it. It's amazing. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to be this good. I'm not surprised that we were challenging for a title, but I'm kind of shocked that we've lost 3 games this year. I expected more.
I mean, you're not surprised that you're competing for a title, but you kind of are. It's like, it's like, okay, I expect it, but then you're 27-3.
Yeah. Nothing's changed.
A chance to definitely go into the tournament with 30 wins.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's changed. Didn't matter what conference we're in. Nothing's changed.
You're only 1 game worse than you were last year right now.
Right. Which is, I mean, and the thing is that a lot of games have come down to.
Hang on. So SportsCenter starts off with U of H UCF highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Normally they go right into the game that just happened, but nope.
Mm-hmm.
Go straight to the U of H number 1. That's an SVP Kelvin Sampson love affair right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It feels so weird to be this good. I mean, it's been an awakening type season because we always thought we were good, regardless of the conference. We always thought that, put us in the conference with them, and we'll compete right away. And damn it, we came out and fucking proved it, which is a testament to the entire program, top to bottom, front to back, everybody, because they've had to really, really grind out this last month with bodies falling left and right and having to juggle everything that they have. It's not that we're just physically better, but we're mentally and emotionally better, top to bottom. That's all I got.
They didn't show Kelvin dance. That's disappointing. Starns?
Every game since that TCU game, you've made the place to win every night except one, and it's an excusable one, I think. To maintain to go 13-1 in 14 games in the best conference in the nation, to win 6 out of 7 road games in the best conference in the nation, to do all these things is truly astounding. And you have one more. You have a chance to end things off right with senior night and clinching a share and against Kansas at home and things like that. And I think no matter the result this season, is one of the best in I'm not the historian that Ryan is, but it has to be one of the best in U of H basketball history, easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Elvin and I'm blanking. I'm sorry. His senior year was phenomenal. You only lost, I believe, in the Final Four. And I mean, it's a different schedule, right? They were an independent. They played a lot of bad teams, and they scored 100 points in 14 straight games, I think. It's just a different world. But what you've done, the legacy that they've built here, I mean, it's hard to compete with that. This was you're now 10-0 as the number 1 team in the country on the road all time. I was looking at numbers earlier, and I think U of H is now 36-6 all time as the number 1 team. And what's crazy is 3 of those losses came last year. You'd only lost 3 times as the number 1 team ever, and 3 of them were last year. It's just really hard to put into words what this is. And I think there's a lot of different ways this season can end. I think you can lose in the Sweet 16 like you did a year ago. I think you could play for a national title. It's luck. It's where you're at. It's health. It's seeding its matchups. And, who knows?
I just feel like the difference with my bad, Ryan.
Go ahead.
I just feel like the difference between this year and last year is that the guys that are in the important positions, they have the right mindset and they're in a position of leadership. You got Big One in the senior year, LJ, who's been on the national title team. You got Jamal, who's probably the best point guard in the country, and Big J and the E-Man. They're leaning on those guys for experience. But I just feel like the difference is we just have guys who, I guess, have a better understanding of what's at stake. Very much a more mature team.
Yeah.
Yeah. We constantly talk about Jamal and Jawan being the leaders, but you have to talk about LJ now in that category. He's right there. I mean, obviously, Jawan and Jamal have the years,
Vocal,
but he is right there, and he has basically put this team on his back. There was a segment of the year where people thought that he just wasn't shooting well and he wasn't playing well, and that's what shooters do.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin praises his shooting in ways that I've never heard him talk about other guys. Good shooter, good player, good this, good culture guy, but he talks about his shooting differently than I recall him talking about anybody else.
Mm-hmm. I feel like with LJ and how he leads, he's a reserved guy, and his leadership is more by example. And he's one of those guys where, yeah, he doesn't say much, but you know what you're going to get from him. But whenever he does say something, everybody's all ears, and because everybody on the team respects him. It's kind of like, in a way, how I remember Damian Dotson. He really didn't say much, but when he just knew how to talk to people, he led in a different way, more of like I understand where you're coming from, but try this. Like, it was just more of it was different, but it's just like it worked for him. And I feel like their leadership styles could potentially be similar.
Right.
Nobody, I don't, did we even mention Jairus? But
I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw the post come through, when you're talking about inexperience, you're talking about the inexperience of last year. You're talking about Tremont coming off of being out for an entire year, having only one full year of playing time. You're talking about Jairus being his freshman. You're talking about Sharp being a freshman.
Yeah.
The guys that we have on this team right now, LJ's been through the wars in the Big 12. Malik is what, a junior now, senior?
Junior.
I mean, he's got a ton of experience. Sharp's the young guy. Jawan's been here forever. You got the entire team is full of seasoned guys, and a lot of them 4+ years. So,
and also
that's the difference. It's not Jairus, or it's not Sharp, or it's not anybody. It's just the overall experience is way higher. This is the oldest team we've played with in forever.
Yeah, and I'd say that last year, like the whole NIL thing was relatively new, and it caused its amount of distractions as well. So it was just a lot of 100%. Stuff that was going on that could potentially affect the thought process and just kind of the team essence of your team. And I just feel like this year, when you have guys, like you said, guys who've been there, this is their fourth year, that last year, you want to leave something lasting. So while having that I feel like that improves your chances to succeed, just because their mindset is where it needs to be.
The coaching staff had to figure out NIL too. And that's just as important as getting the players in all of that together. You just didn't know how to work it and how it would go. They're starting to figure it out and get that lined up in the way it is. I worry that NIL is going to take away from your team because your guys go hard 6 days a week, and then they're spending their entire day off filming NIL commercials, doing photo shoots, whatever. And at some point, that's going to take away from teams. I don't know if it's this team. I don't know if it's some other team. Hopefully, it's UConn. And you've got to figure that out. But I think they've done a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, and it's about being able to integrate that within the program and just make it another part of the mentality of just taking care of business, doing what you got to do, and you got to allow for X amount of. You got to accept that there's going to be X amount of distraction that comes with that process. But you're going to have to be able to put that in. You're going to compartmentalize that and make it just a part of what you do.
I think part of what's going to happen is now that you're a year into the Big 12 and things are going to start working a little different, they're going to try to get a lot of that NIL stuff done in the summer. When last year, you were working on Australia, you were doing different things. This year, they can spend more time. Let's get a whole bunch of stuff in the can. And then on off days in the Big 12 season, you're not going 90 miles an hour. But we're so far off the topic. We're almost back to the topic. This team just did what outsiders didn't think could happen, told us wasn't going to happen, was emphatic about it wasn't going to happen, and they just did it.
And it was guaranteed not to happen after our back-to-back losses.
Back-to-back losses.
And like I said, last year, or early in the year, Kansas lost 3 straight in the middle of conference and still ran away with it. Part of it.
Yeah.
Champions do
Do
what
you
champions
have the
do.
team? Yeah, right. Do you have the team and the leadership? And I think this team has it. And, what can you say? I guess that's it. It's been 2 hours and 10 minutes. That was fine. The crowd for this has been out of the world, and we appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, and hanging in there the entire time.
It's crazy.
Number hasn't
it's
dropped.
just gotten bigger and bigger. It's when Starns and I were doing this to start the football season, my mom didn't even watch. She was like, no, I'm watching the other guys. I'm watching Andy. And now, thanks to Galen and Brad, and, we're kind of getting the hang of this. And it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we appreciate y'all so much. I mean, it's crazy. Thank y'all so much. GoCougs.com, thedailycougar.com, OneSubstantial.com, and whatever you're doing over there.
Totino's?
Can we get one more? Just
excuse me. Rock Chalk. Fuck y'all. Let's go. I'm gonna regret that sooner or later. But hey, man, live in the moment.
you're not in college anymore. Who cares? Are you going to get heckled at a G League game? Does that happen?
I mean, let's say in the event that I decide to coach, that might find its way to, could potentially be harmful.
Oh, who cares?
But yeah, Rock Chalk, double down.
You're so lovable that no one's going to hold that against you.
Hopefully
Unless
not.
you lose a game, then yeah. All right. Thank y'all so much. Let's see if there's any good comments to come. Y'all are entertaining. Good team chemistry. Knowledge too. Another fabulous show. We appreciate y'all doing this. Usually these comments come right after the show ends. And so Townsend and I are the only ones that see them. We appreciate y'all doing that while other people can see them. Thank you so much. We're just getting started. This is going to turn into something way bigger. You're going to see Go Cougs 2.0 coming next year. We are planning and growing these big things. Galen's going to be a part of it. Brad, if we can't find anybody better, is going to be a part of it. Starns could be a part of it. Everybody could be a part of it, and it could be way bigger than it is now. I mean, nobody does as much as us, and I don't think anybody matches our quality. Galen, did you read that story on Qantas and Hollis yet? No.
I was saving it for tonight.
No one has matched our quality.
That's gotta be saved for the next bus trip.
That's crazy. I opened it, I started it, and I was like, I'm kind of tired. I'll just save it for tomorrow.
You're not a reader, huh? You're not a book reader.
I'm a big audiobook guy.
Okay. Pound's not a book reader. Falls asleep. Starns, I believe, is, but he's still in college. He better be.
He looks like it.
So, yeah, I don't know what that means. Who's catching strays now?
I didn't want to say it, but yeah, bro,
He's got glasses. Of course he reads.
Read about 2 a week, brother. You do 2 of them a week.
Well, I mean, it could be like Cat Williams and read 21 books a week.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't know what the hell that means. All right,
I
thank
got you,
y'all so
Pounds.
much. We're gonna just keep this one on the screen because I like that one. 529 people to end the show watching with us. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, shout out to y'all. That's some good shit. Shout out to y'all, man. Jesus. Go Cougs for the city. Y'all know how we get down, man. Shout out to
I don't
Ryan.
know how many. Shout out to Ryan.
Yeah. Shout out to
Shout out to
Linda
Ryan.
if she's still
And
awake, man.
everybody knows the drill. We got to go through it. Make sure
Yes.
like,
Frosted Flakes.
hit that follow. Ryan's going to make sure he's going to destroy some Frosted Flakes.
Pound.
Hit that bell so you get notified of every time we go
Things.
live. All the new content that Ryan puts out on the videos from football and pregame and all that. Get notified of that. Hit that. We appreciate it. High
Yeah.
five that.
Subscribe.
High five that subscribe button.
Subscribe. Okay, time out. Santiago. If you're watching this show, you're most likely a U of H fan. There's no reason to be depressed. You just got a ring. This hand's going to be flopping over because you've got too many rings.
We're cutting down
Things
to
are
that
okay.
hell or high water. That's
Right.
all there is to it.
They might even let Starns and me cut some. Probably not.
Yeah, absolutely not, brother.
Yeah, absolutely not. Are you out of your fucking mind? No, no way. Yeah,
Boom.
Good night,
Roasted.
everyone.
GoCooks.com. Like it and subscribe and whatever else. We'll be back later.